All right, today we're covering a air pressure failure I had on my 77 XS. It does look like the 1977 XS, but that's a super powered version. I got this in about 2015. I've had my share of problems with it, but it's done well in the field. And the other day I was doing some testing on my Legacy, and all of a sudden this thing just wouldn't work. It was just like I didn't cock it. It just no pressure no matter what I did. And so let's go over the steps. We're going to concentrate on the pump tube in this video and how important it is to keep that clean, and just periodically you got to get in there and clean it out. But so the first thing I did, as I've shown in other videos, I did partial disassembly. There's 3 stages I want to talk about today. So there's partial disassembly, just take off your forearms, take off the lever and your pump head. And I did that first. That's easy, that's quick. And then I changed the O-ring in the pump head. In this model, it's right here so you can see it. It's right there. I changed that, put it back together, the 77 XS. And so what happened is very unusual. The guys at the gun shop were questioning me about it, and I said, dude, you pump your gun 10 times? I know, because I want to be nice to the seals. And they said, so you were in a situation where you're just slowly watching your seals get old and degrade. So I want to say this for the first time on video, is that seals will get old, they will get hard, and then they just fail, and you have to replace them. Okay, no matter how well, no matter how good a quality the O-rings are and what lube you're using. So I've been using this gun quite a bit, and it's got a lot of sentimental value. There's some great pest shots in the field. So what I did is I did that, and the next day it shot for like 5 shots, and then it just it was really bizarre. It all of a sudden went down to like 100 feet per second, where it was just squirting out the barrel, or it wasn't shooting at all again, and then it would shoot at full power, and then it wasn't really working. It either wouldn't shoot or it shoot at like 100 feet per second. I've never seen that. The guys at the gun shop says because I was just watching the slow degradation of these O-rings right here. So the pump head O-ring had been in there since 2015. That's when I got the gun, and it just needed to go, but it wasn't enough. So there's 3 stages: partial disassembly and then major disassembly to get to your barrel assembly. And then there's total disassembly, which is taking apart your trigger and your valve. And I tell people, don't do that unless you absolutely have to. Without help, a lot of people never get their gun working again. So only get in there if you have to. So I did major disassembly, but not total disassembly. And so we're going to look at the pump tube here. Okay, so what happens, according to the gun shop, is that microscopic grime can get in there and interfere with like the pump head and retaining air in there. So you get like one of these industrial towels from the auto store. I really like them. They're pretty soft. Use those instead of regular paper towels. They're quite a bit softer. Don't want to scratch up the inside of that tube. And I've shown this in another video for used guns, but when it comes to used guns, you have to clean everything off and change out all your O-rings. Try to keep your check valve, but yeah, you have to do all this. Clean all your surfaces, clean out the pump tube. But my gun's not used. It just needed to go through this, okay? So then I did that. And I cleaned off the check valve and all the surfaces. I replaced the O-ring. When I saw that the first simple fix didn't work, I got in there and did all this. And so now the guys at the gun shop weren't convinced that it was just grime in this pump tube, but they said, yeah, while you're in there, definitely clean that out. It can be a problem. Just dust buildup. I'm going to go back to the gun shop and buy a gun sock and have it come down all the way to the lever right here so it covers the pump tube up. Okay, it's like a big sock that goes over it. So anyway, so what I did is when I got in there to do, and you know, to change the other O-ring after changing the pump head, I take that off. I showed that in other videos. I cleaned off the surfaces. So let me just clean that out. And then I put a new O-ring on there, Danco number 11 SAE 113. Lubed it. Remember to always lube your O-rings, especially that one on back. It's a locking O-ring. It seals and locks this on there. And then put that back on there. Okay, and remember when you're putting this on, make sure it goes all the way up to the valve body, right where my thumb is. So there we go. Okay, so the guys at the gun shop were just saying that, hey, you know, it probably was more than just this being filled with dust or something. It was like you're watching your O-rings just fail. They get old. One was very old, and the other one, you just, you know, there's no guarantee how long your O-rings will last, and just the stress of pumping the gun on it. So they were saying that could have been all three, just the O-rings failing and this thing needed to be cleaned out. So I covered all my bases. So I just wanted to get this video out to everybody. It's not about total disassembly. You don't need to take all this apart back here. And that's my main message here. Take seriously cleaning out the pump tube. And if you're smart and you're getting your O-rings from the store, like Danco Nitrile O-rings, they're only a few bucks. Okay, so clean this out, change your O-rings, lube those O-rings, and now my gun works great. Fired 30 shots, no problem. And yeah, so I just wanted to get that out to everybody that sometimes, you know, you do have to go in there and clean out that pump tube. But remember, that's major disassembly. So when you're getting in here to get this, like guys at the gun shop say, do a full sweep. Get those O-rings out of there, replace them, lube them, get your gun going again. Okay, well, thank you.